Deshaun Jackson in the slot down there, so a little bit of speed to clear out for your tight end, Mark Andrews.
2nd and 20. Lamar winding up, going deep for Jackson. He's got him! Deshaun Jackson!
Was he touched down? Well, he's giving the ball to the official, so apparently he was.
35 years old, and he can still burn past the D. A 62-yard completion.
So we got a deep route here, but I'm thinking he's going to throw it underneath. No, he has more vision than that all the way down the field, and he sees exactly where Deshaun Jackson is going.
Just his 2nd game as a member of the Ravens, and a huge play brings Baltimore well within Tucker's field goal range. 3:15 to go and counting. Gus Edwards back in the game. Jackson will keep it, trying to get to the outside, inside the 20. Hit hard by Williams. Lamar trying to stay in bounds, and he does. You could tell Lamar Jackson knew that he wanted to stay in bounds, make Doug Peterson make a decision about using his timeouts.
You talk about tough. I don't care what position you're playing and you're carrying the ball. To make that physical commitment to stay in bounds, like you said, Andrew, to keep this clock running. Because it's situational football. Doug Peterson at some point is going to have to use some of those timeouts that Jacksonville is sitting on.
89 yards rushing for Lamar, 38 for the Jaguars as a team. That was a 9-yard run to make it 2nd and 1. Edwards picks up the first down. Josh Allen on the tackle, and now Doug Peterson will call a timeout. So he has 2 left and the 2-minute warning. Coming up on the State Farm postgame show, JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cower have all the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the State Farm postgame show. Justin Tucker already 4 out of 4 on field goals today.
Andrew, I'm still sitting here. I cannot get over the deep shot to Deshaun Jackson. When you had Mark Andrews, the play was set up for Mark Andrews. Jackson run out, clear out, get everybody out of the way. Mark Andrews come through, throw it to him for 20 yards. Let's continue. But to have the vision and the presence to say, I got Deshaun Jackson out here. I remember watching him when I was a kid in high school running by people. And still do it. Impressive play by Deshaun Jackson.
36th all-time in receiving yards, Deshaun Jackson. First down and 10. Edwards push back, and Doug Peterson will get in another timeout before the 2-minute warning. So he's got 1 left and 2:10 on the clock. Tucker continues to stay loose on the Baltimore sideline. Let's go back to that big play to Jackson.
And you see Lamar Jackson kind of loading up and getting rid of that ball. Now, Andrew, I'm going to take you way back here. I threw to Deshaun Jackson at his pro day when I was a coach. That's how long he's been in the league.
That's how you're going to put it. That's how long he's been in the league, not how long you've been in the league or around the league.
And I was just blown away with his quickness that he had when he first came in. Still has some of that straight line speed. You see him trying to shake those hamstrings out. Give me another shot to get in there, Coach. I can get it done.
Injured his hamstring in his only other game with Baltimore. That was at New Orleans on a Monday night. And was elevated off the practice squad yesterday. 2nd down and 11. Lamar, play action. He's got a wide open man. Oliver, touchdown! The former Jaguar! And that's got to be oh so sweet for Josh Oliver. A 3rd-round pick by the Jaguars in 2019. Only played 4 games in 2 years and then was traded to Baltimore.
And we would come down here. We had a lot of Jaguar games that we had done prior to this one when he was on the roster. We kept wondering, why isn't he playing? Why isn't he playing? And sometimes that happens to a guy, get drafted early, but now he's found a home, especially with that huge catch right there, a couple of catches earlier. And Greg Roman talking about what a good blocker he is. going for 2 here to make this a 7-point game.
First time this season the Ravens have gone for 2. They entered today one of 7 teams yet to attempt a 2-point conversion. Jackson inside to Andrews, fighting for it, and he's got it! Mark Andrews bullies his way by the goal line, and the 2-point conversion is good. So 2:02 on the clock. Jacksonville with 1 timeout.
You talk about a defense that has fought tough all day long. That's the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had kept the Baltimore Ravens out of the end zone of 3 of the 4 red zone possessions, but you just get so much pressure on you, wilted a little bit there, right there at the end.
Greg Roman fired up. What a drive that was for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. John Harbaugh loves it. Big play to Deshaun Jackson, and then the touchdown to, of all people, Josh Oliver.
You know, little things when you're playing in the game. What's the most important play of the game, Andrew? The next play. So right here, Justin Tucker kicking the ball off to Jamal Agnew. How many career touchdown returns does Jamal Agnew have? 6 total, 4 as a kickoff return guy. You got to get this ball all the way out of the end zone if you're Justin Tucker.
Tucker's good at that, a 75% touchback rate, and another touchback there. Don't forget, coming up, State Farm postgame show with our crew back in New York. Scores and highlights coming up on the State Farm postgame show. All right, so here comes Trevor Lawrence, who has 3 career game-winning drives in the 4th quarter, including one this season against the Raiders. He's got 1 timeout to work with and the 2-minute warning.
You've got some of the greatest pass rushers in the last 10 years playing for the Baltimore Ravens, trying to get after Trevor Lawrence. Make him hold the ball if you're the coverage unit on the back end.
Lawrence on first down, threw it behind Zay Jones. Those two have been on the same page all day. Not right there. 2-minute warning. Coming right back on CBS. Coming right down to the wire here in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence has a chance. Trails by 7, has 1 timeout remaining. With James Lofton, Amanda Renner, Gene Steratore, I'm Andrew Catalan. Close game here in Jacksonville. A game that started 20 minutes late because of lightning in the Jacksonville area. 2nd down and 10. Lawrence buying some time. Pressure coming. Spins away. Football comes out. Jacksonville has it. The center, Luke Fortner, falls on the football.
You get that inside move. Calais Campbell's going to be chasing him down. He's going to be the guy, I think, who's going to get there and swipe that ball out. So he gets a sack there. And that's should be.
And that's what Doug Peterson wants to know. If it's an incomplete pass, he doesn't want to use a timeout. But if they rule it a fumble, Correct. He does want to use his timeout. And that's why there's some confusion right now.
So, you know, all this is reviewed upstairs, not with challenge flags or anything like that. So he gets away from Matabike, and then here comes that hand. I can't tell if it's going forward from the angle. Is it sideways? Which direction is it going?
Timeout. Jacksonville, their 3rd and final of the half.
So they are calling it a fumble. Doug Peterson doesn't like the call, but he has to use a timeout. Here's another angle. I think that's a fumble.
Yeah, I think that's a fumble because he's getting plastered by Calais Campbell, and that ball just drops out of his hand, not as if he's throwing it forward with any motion.
And that goes as a sack for Calais Campbell, who now has 99 in his career. The 100 club is something he's been talking about, he told us, since he was a 13-year-old kid growing up in Denver, and now he's one away. Gene Steratore is with us. How do you see it, Gene?
I see it as a fumble. The hand moves down, as you guys have already alluded to, but I don't see movement forward with the arm. That would constitute a forward pass. That's a fumble. We're inside of 2 minutes, so it goes to the spot of that fumble if it was recovered by an opponent in advance of that, and naturally the force of the last timeout used by Jacksonville.
All right, Gene, thank you. 3rd and long. Lawrence to Kirk. Kirk to the 30 to make it a manageable 4th down. Patrick Queen the tackle after a gain of 16. No timeouts for Jacksonville. 4th and 5. Lawrence trying to keep the game going. Quick pass. Marvin Jones has it. His first catch of the day. And the drive continues, and so does the clock. 1:15 and counting.
A big gamble on that last play by the Ravens to bring pressure. Trevor Lawrence really stood in there really well.
From the 40. Lawrence throws right and incomplete. Intended for Zay Jones. That stops the clock with 1:03 to go, but Zay Jones was open there and Lawrence missed him. And I think there was a sliver of the field where the sun is in your eyes, and it's that exact sliver where Jones turned around to look for the football.
And you know me, I'm always about the sun in my eyes for missing a pass, and I understand that, and that's, like you say, that little sliver is an area that you got to work with. And when you have Marcus Peters over there, a guy who is used to trying to get interceptions, you almost want to bait him with a short one and go deep behind him.
Over the middle, what a catch by Kirk. Into Baltimore territory. Down at the 43-yard line. 17-yard gain. 50 seconds to go.
Can you get Jason Pierre-Paul, number 4, on the outside to muster some pass rush up top?
Lawrence, same play they ran before. This time Jones not in the sun, and he's got the catch. And 8 more yards. 41 seconds to go.
At some point, Baltimore is going to stop giving you that little 10-yard out right in front of the corners and come up and play man-to-man. Can you take your shot? Where do you try and go? Do you go against Brandon Stevens? Do you go against Marcus Peters? Or do you go against the slot and Marlon Humphrey?
Zay Jones has tied a career high with 10 catches today. And some movement up front. A false start.
False start. Offense number 22. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's on Michael Hasty, who has played the majority of this game for Travis Etienne. Etienne went out with a foot injury in the first quarter and has not returned.
Let's go!
94 total yards for Hasty today, but a penalty there moves him back. 2nd and 7. Hasty out of the backfield. And he gets out of bounds after a minimal gain. Marcus Peters forces him out. It's 3rd down.
That high-low concept. You took the low, you took the easy throw, but you did have Zay Jones going deep behind Marcus Peters, so he's matched up against a safety at that point. I'm just always thinking, throw the ball over the top. Really threaten them down the field and make them make a play on the ball. You may get pass interference, or you may have your receiver come up with a great reception.
3rd down and 6. Lawrence looking deep for Jones. He's got it! What a catch! And now they gotta hurry. No timeouts. Ball is spotted at the 10-yard line. 20 seconds to go. Lawrence throwing to the end zone. Marvin Jones! Yes! They call it a touchdown! This one will be looked at in replay. But on the field, it is ruled a touchdown.
Andrew, I know we're a couple 100 yards away, but it looked like the whole right side of his leg came down in bounds before he went out of bounds. On target with the throw. Watch the extension by Marvin Jones. Let's see if his right leg comes down in bounds. Right there, that shin, that's a catch.
The 32-year-old Marvin Jones, for the moment, has his second touchdown of the season. And for the moment, Doug Peterson has sent out his extra point unit, led by Riley Patterson. Peterson loves to go for two, as we saw with the Eagles. But here it looks like he's playing for overtime. Gene Steratore is with us. How do you see this play in the end zone, Gene?
An amazing attempt at the catch, and right now ruled a touchdown. What I'm looking at is what James alluded to, and it is the lower right leg of Jones as he's going to the ground. And again, after listening to Land Clark tell us that we're going to get a review on it, I'm watching to see. It appears to me as he's falling that there's a little bit of daylight between his lower leg and the turf. Now, but any part above that ankle that hits the ground in bounds is constituted as 2 feet. This is a frame-by-frame play, guys, and they're going to take a real tight look at it, but it is really close, and I think this is another situation where the ruling on the field is really important because they have to have something indisputable to overturn it.
Gene, would it have been a smarter play for the defender to really try and ride him out of bounds once he had gone up in the air to make the reception?
Most definitely, James, yes, because as soon as that right foot hits, if he could have pushed Jones a little bit and helped his momentum, I don't think we're looking at that right lower leg at all right then, and I agree with that for sure.
Land Clark still communicating with New York, awaiting a final verdict on this play that was called a touchdown on the field. And if it stands, what a job by Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars to get down the field.
Those aggressive throws, trying to get that ball over the top to throw to Zay Jones and then to Marvin Jones, the other Jones connection. Just terrific placement on both passes by Trevor Lawrence.
Looks like he's ready.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
27-26, and now Doug Peterson has Trevor Lawrence going back out on the field. And it looks like he's going to go for two.
I love it.
When Doug Peterson was the head coach in Philadelphia, no team went for two more than the Eagles. This year, 2 for 4 on 2-point conversions.
And the wrinkles that Doug Peterson throws out in situations like this, you don't just come up with a common play, turn around and hand it to the tailback in the eye. There's going to be something special pulled out of the hat for this play for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Fans on their feet. Doug Peterson going for two. Hasty, the running back. And John Harbaugh calls a timeout. The 2 times the Jaguars were successful on 2-point conversions this year. One, they went to Travis Etienne. The other, they went to Evan Ingram. Etienne not available right now because of a foot injury.
And Evan Ingram currently on the sideline right now.
Yeah, they do have Chris Manhertz in, the big bruising tight end, instead of Evan Ingram.
Who would give them a little protection if they go with that 3-by-1 set again. A little protection on the backside to block one of those edge rushers trying to run down Trevor Lawrence. We've seen Trevor Lawrence in this situation really roll out to his right to try and extend the play and let somebody work open.
Jaguars going for two. Lawrence in the shotgun. Looking left. Throws left. And it's caught! Zay Jones! The Jags go up by 1. There's your number 1 pick in the draft last year. Trevor Lawrence. What a drive!
How about Zay Jones for the day? 11 receptions, 145 yards. That one doesn't go down as a reception, but nobody who was here will ever forget it. And that ball, just a strike, has to be right on target, right in front of Brandon Stevens. But Zay Jones, you don't have to be 10 yards deep in the end zone. Get right along that goal line. Let your quarterback throw you right to the pylon.
There were some questions about Trevor Lawrence after his first year, and even at points this year when the Jaguars lost 6 out of 7 games. Is he really getting better? Well, in the last couple of games, he said this is the best he's felt in his career. Doug Peterson, the confidence to go for 2, and those two right there, Peterson and Lawrence, the relationship that they have grown together pays off in a big way here late for Jacksonville. Baltimore does have 2 timeouts remaining, and they're going to have good field position after this kick is bounced to Ricard at the 35, all the way up to the 38-yard line. Does take a couple of seconds off the clock. 10 seconds remain.
And 2 timeouts for Baltimore, so that play that we saw just recently where he hoisted it down the field to Deshaun Jackson, that same look with Mark Andrews coming underneath would be a viable place to throw the football.
Remember, last year in Detroit, Justin Tucker hit a game-winning 66-yard field goal, the longest field goal in NFL history.
One of the things you have to do as a receiver here, if you catch the ball, say 20 yards down the field, slide, give yourself up so that you can call timeout.
Need about 15 to 20 yards. Lamar, with time coming off, he gets it to Oliver. He's got to get out of bounds, and he does. Josh Oliver gets out of bounds with 2 seconds on the clock, and John Harbaugh runs out Justin Tucker. He hit from 66 a year ago indoors in the win against Detroit. They are calling this a 67-yard field goal. No wind to speak of right now. Out of the hold of Jordan Stout. Tucker, kick on the way, online, does it have